people out of their seats dancing throughout the stadium as well. We had a pretty good seat in the house. I think the Australian team have got the best seat in the house, or the athletes do anyway. Now, the ambassador, Tim, is very well known, isn't it, throughout India? There it is there.
Yes, anyone who's been to India has probably taken a ride in an ambassador taxi. It is the Indian equivalent of New York's yellow cab or London's black one. Alas, apparently the last one has rolled off the production line. But for many years, in fact, we were being told today by one of our Indian advisors that the ambassador was the only car she'd ever known, that she'd ever seen up until the early 1980s. It was the only car that was seen on Indian roads.
Wow.
Times have changed. It's a heavyweight car, not fuel efficient, and its time has passed. There are much more fuel-efficient, smaller vehicles dominating the Indian roads now.
I think that's an Indian wedding going on down there. And you can just see the chandeliers as well, just going out of shot. And now apparently Indian homes and hotels like to use them to add class, as if diamonds are hanging from the ceiling.
Seen a little bit of chilies, a few chilies throughout our time here. We've been here for a week.
Shades of the closing ceremony from Sydney here. Of course, yes. This in an Indian way, but as the 2000 Olympics came to an end, at the ceremony we saw all these iconic Australian images, the Hills hoist and the Victor lawnmower, the old rubber thong.
I think the Barbie and the Esky was there too, wasn't it? Chaiwala.
Gotta say,
tea seller.
Yeah, chai tea is very popular in India, and I love it. It's great.
So the Australians have certainly stayed. Athletes were given the prerogative of leaving a little early, but it looks as though a vast number of our athletes have stayed on and want to enjoy the cultural display, so colourful and vibrant as it is.
Well, plenty of the athletes, particularly the girls, love to shop, so they're probably looking at this and making a shopping list as they go.
Very good point. I think Asari will probably be fairly high on most lists. Probably not for you, Tim, but...
I love the comments Anna Mears made a couple of days ago. Of course, there was so much uncertainty about these games, and she arrived in India and faced the media and said, for me, there was no choice. A third opportunity to represent Australia at a Commonwealth Games and a chance to visit India, a country rich in history and culture. I really want to see their flair on the Commonwealth Games. I'm very privileged to be able to experience it.
Steve Hooker echoed very similar sentiments when he arrived in the country, and I guess for anyone who thinks that the Commonwealth Games aren't relevant, try saying that to an Australian athlete. They all bust their proverbials to get here.
And there is the Australian team captain.
Steve there.
Yes, yeah. He is. Had a mixed year in the pole vault, just lost his way for a little while, but he's come back with some good performances, and of course will start favourite, having won the world title last year and the Olympic crown the year before that. explosion of colour goes on. No pale shades for too many Indian women.
Not a lot of beige out there, is there? The message of this particular performance is that India is an energetic, vibrant country that is able to coexist in its diversity and its contradictions. Seeing plenty of diversity out there tonight.
And that is the sound of 100,000 hands clapping.
Yesterday was Gandhi's birthday, and it wouldn't be an Indian celebration without a reference to one of the greatest Indian names, great Indian leader.
And this is his favourite hymn, which apparently was played on many ceremonial occasions.
And the San artists are recreating Gandhi's message of non-violence, peace and the international brotherhood.
The man who in so many ways was the maker of modern India is honoured.
We move into the celebrations component of the opening ceremony, and what we will see here is lots of traditional folk dancing. People from across India celebrate the message of Gandhi in their everyday life through festivals and dances.
Dancing is the national pastime. Each area and district has its own. In so many languages, dance is often a common ground for all. peacock is the most recognisable symbol in folk art in India. Many of the dancers forming the shape of the Wheel of Life, which is the logo for the Delhi 2010 Commonwealth Games. Seen any elephants since you've been here? I haven't seen any yet.
Haven't seen an elephant. I'm reliably informed that Brad McEwen rode an elephant last week.
I've seen Mark Howard riding one.
Yes.
He rides it well too.
Talking to our gymnastics commentator